The secrets of Scientology are kind of like catnip for conspiracy theorists, but they are also fascinating news for the rest of us. From rumors about Tom Cruise to the extramarital gay love life of John Travolta, the church has been tabloid fodder for a few decades now. But tabloids are one thing, first-hand accounts are quite another. Mike Rinder was a high-ranking executive in the church, and he says much of what has been whispered is actually true. Spying, intimidation, cover-ups, even violence at the hands of its leader, David Miscavige. Rinder escaped, wrote a book, and then agreed to talk to me. His book is called A Billion Years, My Escape from a Life in the Highest Ranks of Scientology. Mike, thanks so much for being with me tonight. First question right off the bat, what else is in your book that is going to turn heads and probably make the church pretty mad?
A lot, Ashleigh. Thank you so much for having me on. I think that the details about how David Miscavige managed to rise to power in Scientology and some of the things that are revealed about L. Ron Hubbard, the founder of Scientology, and the insanity that goes on at the highest levels of the inner sanctum of Scientology. I think that those are the things that will rankle them the most, not really even the celebrity stuff.
So the church celebrates marriage, it frowns upon divorce, and yet there's all these revelations in your book about orchestrating, Tom Cruise out of his first marriage and then into a marriage with Nicole Kidman and then out of that marriage and into an arranged situation with his next wife. But I can't understand how this isn't something that would ruin their, reputation and tank their image.
Well, that's a really good question, Ashleigh. Celebrities are treated very differently in Scientology. Celebrities are held on a very high pedestal because they give credibility to, or believe they give credibility to Scientology. So the way that they get treated is very different than the way that others get treated. And that particularly goes for what happens when they have a marital situation. They aren't treated like other Scientologists. I think that for the most part, Scientologists look at the life of Tom Cruise and go, well, he's the most successful movie star in the world, so we give him a pass on not living up to the standards that Scientologists expected to maintain with respect to marriages.
So then tell me a little bit about this other story that's just been circulating forever about Tom Cruise, or rather about John Travolta. You say in the book that you actually witnessed John Travolta with a male masseur who was, I think, wearing a bathrobe and kissed him like fully on the lip. What was the circumstance of what you witnessed?
Just what you described, Ashleigh. And the reason for me putting that in the book was not because I'm trying to out John Travolta. I don't think that I need to out John Travolta. I was making the point of the hypocrisy of Scientology, that Scientology is notoriously homophobic, and internally, that is how Scientologists view homosexuality, that it is a bad condition that can be resolved with Scientology. I believe firmly that if John Travolta was not a Scientologist, he would not try to pretend that he is anything other than what he is sexually. There's no stigma associated with it other than inside Scientology. Because if John Travolta was openly gay, for example, inside Scientology, people would start scratching their head and going, wait a minute, auditing is supposed to deal with that. He should have been cured of that by now. So that I make the point that I believe that is why he doesn't just come right out and say whatever it is that is his sexual orientation.
Has the church or Travolta or Cruise or anybody else who's been written about in the book, have they threatened to sue you, or have they filed suits for defamation or anything like that?
No. Scientology sends threat letters. Those people don't. Scientology always sends threat letters, though. No,
Always
no
interesting
suits.
if there isn't a suit, because then you got to go under oath and you got to answer the questions. Real quickly, as a fixer, you were actually in the church's Office of Special Affairs. Woof, that's a scary kind of title. I'm curious. I'm hearing in the book that you're tasked with, intimidation and cover up. But what were special affairs, and what did you do to intimidate and cover up in your role?
Well, Special Affairs is a euphemistic name that of the Department of Scientology that replaced the old infamous Guardian's Office when they were caught by the U.S. government and their leaders ended up in prison for infiltrating the United States government back in the late 1970s. The Office of Special Affairs has the task of silencing and destroying utterly, if possible, the words of L. Ron Hubbard, the enemies of Scientology. And enemies in the world of Scientology is anybody who is critical, anybody who is questioning, anybody who is going out into the media and saying, look, there are abuses ongoing in Scientology and they need to be stopped. Those people become what Hubbard called fair game. And they are harassed by private investigators, they're threatened legally, they have smear sites made about them that go up on the internet, they have videos made about them, they steal their garbage, they put cameras, they hack their emails, anything that they believe will intimidate the person into silence.
Well, I have to say, we've reached out. The Church of Scientology has denied a lot of the allegations that are made in the book. It is fascinating reading, though, Mike Rinder. I will tell you that. Thank you for being on and talking about it. The book is called A Billion Years, My Escape from the Life in the Highest Ranks of Scientology. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.